I was born and raised in Bogota, Colombia. And, one thing that you might need to know to get the story is that in Bogota, once you wake up, the odds are against you. So I was in film school in Bogota, and the only reason I really had to go to class was because there was this girl I liked, and but I really didn't know what to do about it, and I just went to school and waited around to see if anything happened. And when I decided that nothing was going on, I just was starting to head out of school to go to back home, and she happened to come out exactly at the same time with this guy called Jorge, who's somebody else in the same school, didn't really know him very well. And they said, "What are you up to?" And I was like, "Nothing really." It's like, "Let's go grab a cup of coffee." And I was like, "Yes, let's do that." And we started walking, and all of a sudden I hear these incredibly loud explosions. Bah! And I close my eyes, and when I open back my eyes, I'm facing in the opposite direction that I was walking to. And I see all these people kind of like in slow motion running towards me. I'm like, and I look at my arms and I'm all scratched up and bleeding, and I have no idea what's happening, and I turn around and I realize that lightning has struck, and it has hit this gigantic eucalyptus tree that has folded, and it's kind of like bent over and broken, and it's kind of like twisting, kind of trying to get it back up again. It's like twisting, and in the middle of the branches I see Diana, who is the girl that I like. And at that point I realized that my reaction was to freeze when the lightning struck. And my ears are ringing. And I was just like, it's raining now. And Jorge's reaction was to jump backwards. And Diana's reaction was to run forward. And she got hit by the tree. And now she's under this gigantic tree, and I see her like tumbling in the branches as the tree slowly is kind of moving, trying to like get back up because it's all like twisted like that. And everybody's running, and they lift up the tree, and I'm just kind of like, well, I don't even know what's happening. And Diana stands up, and she's like all wet and like falling apart, and she goes like, "Oh my God, I don't feel so great." She goes like this. And there's a branch on her back. It's like an inch in diameter branch that is sticking right out of her back. And there's a guy standing right behind her, and he just doesn't know what to do, and kind of like holds the branch, and the branch comes out, and she collapses. And everybody freezes, and I unfreeze. So I walk towards her, and I lift her up, like in the movies, and I've never done that before, and I've never been able to do it again. But you know, because in fear, you do whatever you need to do, and I lift her up, and I knew exactly what to do. I knew that we needed to go to a hospital. And I knew exactly where the hospital was because my three brothers and my dad were doctors, and they all worked in the same hospital, and I knew just my sense. I was like, I need to get there, and I need to call my brothers and get them to help out. And I had to. It was a long walk. It was a very long walk, and it was kind of like almost like 20 blocks. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how physically I was able to do this. And I'm holding this woman, and we start running, and all these people are kind of like chaperoning next to me, and nobody helps in Bogota. We're trying to hail a cab or call the police, and nobody cares. The cops drop by, they're like, help! And I was running, and like I'm looking at her, she's like so beautiful, and I'm like running with her, and she looks at me, and she says, I'm so sorry, I peed my pants. And I look down, and I'm covered in blood, and I'm like, it's okay, it doesn't matter. And we finally get to the hospital, and I get to find somebody who's like, I need to call Dr. Murillo, it's my brother, and he comes down, and they take her apart, and they bring like a stretcher, and I put her down on the stretcher, and the stretcher turns red. It's like cleaning a paintbrush or something in a clean cup of water. And at that moment, she realizes that she's like wounded, and she like holds onto me so hard that she can't let go, and they're pulling her out, and she like scratches my arm, and she pulls away. And I never saw her again.
Wow.
20 years later, I was like a couple weeks later, I left the country and I came to the USA. And I was always wondering, like, I wonder what happened. And like 20 years later, I found her on the web because she became a producer. And she was a producer for that movie called Maria Full of Grace.
Oh, wow.
So I saw her in the credits and stuff, so like I got her email, and I sent her an email, and I said like, oh wow, congratulations, so what's up with you? And she said, you know what, I'm in New York for the premiere of the movie. So why don't you come up to the movie? So I went up to New York, and the red carpet and everything. and the paparazzi and everything. And I was assuming that there was not going to be any time to see her or anything, because he was probably busy. And but they treated me like a king. There was a limo waiting for me, and they picked me up in the limo, and they took me to the thing. There was an after party, and it was all great. And I think that sometimes there's it took 20 years to get the rewards of facing the odds, and it just came in the shape of a thank you.